Let's cartoon it up. Hello and welcome to Cartoon It Up with me, Jazza. Today I'm going to be creating a cartoon character with the help of two random elements. Let's find out what they are. Today I'm going to be drawing a cool queen. This is going to be an interesting one, but it's going to be fun. Let's get started. So I'm going to start off by drawing some basic construction shapes. For the head, I'm going to draw a bit of a bean shape. I just like to mix up the shapes sometimes to have a bit of fun. It is a cartoon after all, and I get to do what I like. For the body, I'm going to draw her hunched over a little bit. So I'm going to have a nice arched back shape with a shorter torso. But I think this is a bit we can have fun with some cool aspects. I'm going to give her some skinny jeans and some high-top sneakers. I'm actually raising this back leg because I want to have a bit of a gap between the foot and the floor to fit a skateboard underneath. The construction of the skateboard can just be really simple, just drawing a line to show where the board's going to go and a few circles for where the wheels will go. I'm going to add a nice thick upper arm and have it taper all the way into a bit of a dainty wrist, and I think it'd be nice to have her sipping on a cup of English breakfast tea. But with her other hand, we can contrast it with a bit of a cool hang loose hand sign. I don't need to draw the details for that yet. I can just sort of allude to it with a basic shape. I'm also going to add some fluffy edges to a big queen's robe that's going to hang all the way down here and drag slightly on the ground. And I'm also going to draw some sleeves that are going to have the same material hanging down from both arms. And a few finishing touches. I think I'm going to give her some pearls around her neck. Let's give her 2 layers of pearls. I mean, she is the queen after all. I'm going to add a little bit of construction for where I'm going to put the hair later. And of course, she wouldn't be a queen if she didn't have a crown. So I'm going to draw a nice cone shape coming out of the top of her head and turn that into a crown by adding these pointy bits like this. And we can also draw some construction circles that we can fill in with gems later. And last but not least, I'm going to go back to the face and add a line across the middle horizontally to indicate where I'm going to put the eyes. I'm done with the construction now, which is great because it means I can move on to stage 2, adding some characteristics. So first things first, let's start defining the features of the face. We have these rough circles that were sort of blocking where the hair was going to go. I'm going to follow these as a guide and add little tufts to create that hair look, but with a really nice soft flow to it. The hair's got to be neat and tidy because you would never see the queen with a scruffy hairdo. I'm going to give her a nice dainty pointy nose, and I'm going to give her a really nice big smile because she's hanging out with her cool friends. Give her some nice smiling eyes with some raised eyebrows. And I might add a little bit of a pointy chin. Now this queen has been ruling for years, and to show that I want to add a few lines to her face. So for today's feature focus, I'm going to play around with some aging techniques. Let's jump over to the doodle pad. I have 2 identical faces here. On one of them, I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to add wrinkles. On top of the eyebrows is a good place where you can just draw some lines that follow the same basic shape of the eyebrows, and sometimes there's a few layers of them, like this. Another few key areas is in and around the eyes. So for example, beside the eyes like this, you can have a few lines emerging out of the side, and then underneath the eyes, you can sort of add a little bit of a bagged look by drawing a line in this shape. Another thing you can do is add a little emphasis to the lines that go down from the nose to the side of the mouth. And then last but not least, it can also be effective to make the mouth look a little wrinkly just by drawing a couple of little lines in the top lip that make it look a little bit older. And just like that, you can see a massive difference. So I'm going to take this technique and put it onto our cartoon. So let's jump to the rest of the characteristics and add some detail. I'm going to start off by adding a few little tufts to our queenly robes. We don't want to use too many straight lines, and to make it look nice and soft and fluffy, I like to alternate between having large curves and then a few little pokey outy bits. To add a bit of a regal look to our fluffy robes, I'm going to draw these little black dots all the way down the robe. And then let's add on a few details like some bracelets, defining the features of her hands holding the mug, and of course the hang loose pose that her hand is in. I'm thinking it might even be fun to add a little crown to her mug that she's drinking her tea from. With a few final touches on the shoes and the skateboard, we're then ready to move on to the next stage. It's time for a tidy up. So there's our finished cool queen. I'm not sure whether to bow or give her a high five. Hello, Your Majesty. Oh, cool shoes.
Oh, yes, I do so love my kicks. These are my new skating shoes. I find they help me do some gnarly kick flips. What up? It's Lady Swift, the Princess of Pop. She wants me to lay some beats over her new track. Bye.
That is one cool queen.